Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sahil Batra, orthopedic spine surgeon. Now we'll be moving from joints to spine and the role of arthroscopy or so-called endoscopy in spine surgery. So I'll be just talking some basics about spine endoscopic surgery, since this is a relatively alien field to most of the orthopedic surgeons. So we'll be talking some basics about spinal endoscopy. Can we have the presentation? So I am currently working as a consultant spine surgeon in Tagore Hospital, Jalandhar. So spinal endoscopy is a relatively newer field where we are going from minimally invasive spine surgery to actually minimalistic invasive spine surgery. So in this, the normal traditional approach to spine is posterior. We cut the muscles, or we go via tubular retractors and we dilate the muscles and reach the lamina. We cut a part of lamina, we see the root, we cut some of the flavum, we see the root, and then we take out the disc for a normal discectomy. Then from a normal open discectomy we move to micro discectomy by using microscopes. Then we shifted to tubular discectomies where we do not cut the muscles, we dilate the muscles over a guide wire. Now this is further minimalistic, that we do not go via posterior window to the disc. Since this is not a direct approach to the disc is anterior to the dural sac or the thecal sac, but we are going now directly to the disc via this posterolateral docking to the direct disc. So this is transforaminal endoscopic spine surgery. So we need to know the anatomy of the foramen. As you see in this picture, there is the foramen has an exiting nerve root which is in the superior part of the foramen, and the inferior part of the foramen is a relatively safe zone. As we see in this MRI image, the root is in the superior part of the foramen and the inferior part is relatively free of any structure. So that is where we should dock our endoscope or the spinal endoscope. So if we see the anatomy, this is called the Cambin's triangle. This is a triangle which is formed on one side by the exiting nerve root. On the base it is the traversing root and the thecal sac, and the base of this triangle is the superior end plate of the inferior vertebra for that particular disc. So whatever disc we have to target, we have to see the pre-op MRI or CT scan, whatever investigation we have done, and we draw a midline from the disc, and then we drop this line directly to the skin and we see what trajectory do we want to enter the disc. This trajectory may differ depending upon what kind of disc prolapse it is, whether it is a paracentral disc prolapse, whether it is a central disc prolapse, whether it is a foraminal disc prolapse. So we see where we need to mark this, where we need to put a needle, and that is how we decide how much is our entry point of needle going to be from the midline. Now this is the Cambin's triangle and this is the endoscope. This endoscope directly docks to the disc which is anterior to the thecal sac, so that we are directly reaching the culprit, which is the disc which is compressing the roots, and we do not need to cut any of the structures which was previously normal, that is lamina and ligamentum flavum or any of the posterior muscles. So the chances of low back pain in this post-surgical event is very less in this, as we have not entered the posterior spinal muscles and we have not entered the posterior lamina and the flavum. Chances of epidural fibrosis, chances of recurrence is very less in this surgery. So this has minimal blood loss, minimal stay in the hospital, and maximal results with minimalistic approach. Now if you see, there are many kinds of disc prolapses: central, paracentral, subarticular, foraminal and extraforaminal. All these have been lined up in this image, and for every particular kind of disc prolapse, our needle trajectory and our scope entry would be different. If we see this whole scheme of things, so this trajectory shows from the posterolateral area that this is how our needle will go at an angle of 25 to 30 degrees from the horizontal or from the skin, and this is how we will enter the disc. Now there are intradiscal and extradiscal approaches, that for any disc prolapse, depending upon where it is, we can dock the needle directly inside the disc and work our way to the fragment which is causing the compression of the nerve root from the disc, or we can go directly at the area where that fragment is already out. So that is an extradiscal approach, and the intradiscal is we go into the normal disc first, and from there we reach to that fragment which is compressing the root, the contained fragment which is compressing the root, the contained fragment which is already inside the annulus. So these both intra and extradiscal approaches are via the transforaminal approach. For any transforaminal approach, one wide based MRI is always ideal to see that whether your trajectory is going through the retroperitoneal space or not. If you see on the right, the trajectory is going through the muscles, I can easily go, so you see a happy face. But on the left side, if you see, if I put the trajectory a little horizontal, it goes through the retroperitoneal space, which can cause damage to the structures, and where the surgeon will not be happy and the patient will not be happy. So always it is better to get a wide base MRI at that particular disc level. So this is how the needle will pass through. The first we will put this needle into the disc at a desired angle depending upon what kind of disc prolapse it is. Over that needle we will put a guide wire, then serial dilators, and then we'll put a working channel. And after that working channel we'll put an endoscope via which we'll be working. So this is the serial how we'll do it. So this is the needle in the first slide, then the guide wire goes, then the dilators go, then the scope goes, and working channel, and then finally we're working through the scope in this area. This was all about transforaminal. And then there is another approach which is interlaminar endoscopy. Here the docking is directly just 1 to 2 centimeters to the midline on either side from where you want to do the surgery, from where you want to remove the disc. So interlaminar, this on the left side, if you see the image, you put a scope directly to decompress on one side, and if you want to decompress the thecal sac and the nerve root on the opposite side, you just need to take the scope a little out and tilt it into the direction on the other side. This is called as the over the top decompression of the other side of the thecal sac and the nerve roots. So this was just a basic introduction to the spinal endoscopy and the spinal in the role of endoscope or arthroscopy in spine surgery. Thank you very much.
You are attending.
Thank you very much.